everybody. Welcome back. I am so excited about who we're interviewing today. This is Jess Toolson, the creator and CEO of Mixhers. And if you guys have not heard of Mixhers, you need to go check it out. I'm going to link to all of it at the end of this because I am a huge fan already. Welcome, Jess. Thank you so much for being on.
Oh, thank you, Erin. I'm excited to be here. And I really appreciate you even asking me to be a part of this.
Well, as soon as I saw what you're doing and kind of the message you're spreading, I was like, I have to talk to this woman. I just think it's so important. But before we dive into that, because we are going to dive in, tell me a little bit about you and your family and just your personal life.
Okay, so I am a mother of 3. I have twins that are 6. They're both girls, very identical, and girls, whoa. I'll tell you later why I'm so grateful for her time because I know I'll need it in the future. And then I have a son that's 9 years old, and I am a wife to a man named Ryan. We actually have spent 11 years living overseas and living in various cities throughout Europe. My husband is a professional basketball player. And so I have had a passion to start Mixhers and grow this brand, but it has taken time because I've had to juggle going between living in Europe, coming back stateside, and back and forth. So that's a little bit about us in a nutshell. So yeah.
That's awesome. I was doing a little online creeping and your kids are just adorable.
Oh, thank you. I know I'm their mom, but I think so too. I'm like,
They're cute. I can vouch for that.
yeah, thank you.
All right. So you mentioned Mixhers, and that's really what I want to talk about. So tell me, I first of all, I just love that you're talking about this topic of hormones and periods because I think that's something that we don't talk about enough. And it's so important. And I know it's important to me and my girls. And so tell me a little bit about how you even got into this world, how you thought of this, just kind of the story behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, the reason why Mixhers was something I knew that I needed to create is because I started as the woman in need. After I had my twins, I don't know why, but before I had my twins, I didn't really relate to women that were really severely struggling with their periods. It was an annoyance to me, but it wasn't something that like put me in bed. I couldn't, it made me that I couldn't function in my daily life. But after I had my twins, that completely changed. I was struggling with really heavy cycles, major bloating, cramping, all those discomforts I would get. I could tell that it had a major effect on my mood. And I just really was struggling for a solid 10 days of every single month. And so I started looking into some alternatives. Of course, the usual that we know about is like ibuprofen for some pain, Midol, kind of. And I just realized like these suggestions that were even coming from my doctor were not helping me. It wasn't solving anything. I was able to like Band-Aid myself for a little bit, but yet then come 3 weeks, I would be in the same pain. And then I wasn't able to cure any of these issues. And so I really became the girl on a mission to help myself. And that is where Cody, one of my partners, we've been friends for a long time. And I was actually mentioning this struggle that I was facing. And I mentioned it to her, and she is a holistic health practitioner. And it was way too funny because she was like, oh, Jess, I have exactly what you need. I need to give you these ingredients. And at the time, she would take these herbal ingredients and mix them in her home and put them into capsules. And so she gave me these capsules. The aftertaste was absolutely horrible. But I couldn't deny that in the first month, my period symptoms were so much better. Immediately in the first month, my flow was lighter. I actually wanted to put on my gym clothes. Before it was like the gym was like not even a thing because I would just bleed. Sorry, we are very open about periods at Mixhers. So truth is, I would just like my flow was too heavy to even think about like getting sweaty at the gym and the risk of like leaking everywhere. And then also just like the bloating was like the last thing I ever wanted to do was put on gym clothes. Yep. So I noticed in the first month, I had a lighter flow. I was able to like have the energy and the ability to like finish a workout and feel good. And I just felt that I was like more mentally stable. And those were like immediate things. And so I went to Cody and I'm like, okay, this works. And so I know I'm not the only girl in need out there. We need to get this to the masses. And so that was when we started on our mission.
I love it. Holy cow. What an awesome story. And that's so funny. When you were talking, I literally was thinking, it's just like putting a Band-Aid. Like what we're trained to do is just to put a Band-Aid on it. And you're right. And then you know it's coming, you know, again, and you're dreading it. So I think this, and I think, you know, not to discredit doctors at all, but I really think that sometimes it takes just regular people rising up and being like, look, this is not working. How can we make this better? So I just love that.
Right. Well, and something that Cody is so passionate about, and obviously this is a passion of mine now, but Cody has always said, as our holistic health practitioner, we need to get to the root cause of the issue. So yes, like we over at Mixhers totally don't mean to discredit doctors as well. There's always like a need for doctors, but yet sometimes, and in some situations, we're not supposed to just be suffering. And that's something that has been so amazing for me to learn about through this process, is that actually our bodies are really trying to tell us what is wrong with us. There's something wrong that our body is missing, and that's why we have cramps. There's a reason behind the bloating. There's a reason behind the menstrual migraines, and the reason is actually a hormone imbalance. And so that can be helped through proper nutrition and micronutrients and things that Mixhers products, specifically Her Time, can provide. So the message from Mixhers is that women actually don't have to suffer. And that's not something that all women understand. That's like a new concept even to me in the last few years, is that like PMS symptoms, it really isn't just part of life. It's something that we can help.
Yes. I love it. Amen.
Yeah.
Everybody, what exactly your products are and what each of them do, because you have different ones.
Yes. So our baby, I call it my baby, is Her Time. And so Her Time is an herbal supplement that we have two different products of Her Time. We have the daily supplement, which is for women and all ages. We have teens, young teens, first time period girls on Her Time daily. And we have women facing perimenopause symptoms on Her Time daily. The reason for Her Time daily is there's no tracking of your cycle involved in the use of Her Time. So it's a really simple and effective product, one a day. You just use it at the same time as you use your multivitamin, and it's like no thought has to go into the use of the product other than remembering to use it. Then we have Her Time Classic that is specific for women that do track their cycle, can remember when to start a product. Either they're really efficient in period calendars, or they are able to identify like, oh, I'm feeling X, Y, and Z. I must be starting my period in 2 days, and they begin Her Time Classic. And this Her Time product, it relieves PMS symptoms. We have women that have found relief from their monthly menstrual migraines. We have women that it's been helping their endometriosis. We have women that have only changed the fact that they've added Her Time into their daily regimen, and now they've finally been able to get pregnant after years and years. And it's even helping just the minor. I don't want to say they're minor, because when you're struggling with them, it doesn't feel minor. But I guess I should say the common symptoms, such as like bloating, cramping, backaches, heavy flow. So Her Time can help with all of those. After we launched Her Time, we've been in business actually selling product for 1 year.
Oh
and
gosh.
Yeah, so Mixhers has been a company for 3 years, but it took us 2 solid years to get the Her Time formula to be spot on, and something we felt like tasted great, because no one wants to like chug something down and just so herbs are hard, but we had to get it right, and something that we were happy to put like our stamp of approval on, as far as like it is effective. So about 9 months into selling Her Time, we were realizing that our customers were coming to us with very consistent complaints outside of their monthly cycles. One of them being, I really struggle with anxiety and depression. I've been medicated and I still don't feel better, but this is something that I'm really trying to find a solution for. Do you guys have something? Now, Her Time does have some ingredients that can help with mental health and with nervous system and things that trigger some of these anxieties. But we realized that it's a very common struggle that women face to try to manage anxiety. Women are facing a lot. We put up with a lot. We have busy lives. We're caring for a lot of people. And sometimes, unfortunately, women deal with these anxieties and are struggling on the inside, but don't quite know how to vocalize it or what help they can get. And they want an easy, effective solution. So we have introduced Her Power, which we refer to it as a brain enhancement supplement. It nourishes your brain, and it helps as actually an energy product as well. There's no caffeine in it. It can help replace caffeine, because what women often don't understand, and that we're really trying to educate, I'm the woman that needed to be educated as well, was that common things that women are using, like when they're facing anxiety or when they're feeling tired or sleepy or my life is hard, I need something to keep up, was caffeine. And caffeine actually increases anxiety and depression because it sends you into fight or flight mode, and your brain and everything is up here thinking, I need to show up, everything has to be perfect, I need to be fast, and then it leaves you with a crash, which in the end causes more anxiety. So Her Power, it actually increases the blood flow in your brain, which makes you just feel more awake, more alive, more aware, more focused, and it helps modulate your mood. So when you use Her Power in place of caffeine, you will feel just more, I know this might sound strange, but something I tell people is with Her Power, I just feel more present. Like I feel like I'm more here, and then I'm like clear-minded, and yeah, that's my simple, like those are my words for it. It doesn't give you like the jitter feeling from caffeine. It doesn't make me need a nap after I have a caffeine crash. It's just like a good, consistent, natural energy. And our third product is Her Crave. It is a product that helps with cravings, appetite, feeling that you're overeating. The message from Mixhers is never that women should not be eating, but we also relate in the fact that women often struggle with emotional eating and stress eating. I do too. It's something that women, it's a common, very, very common struggle for women. So our message with Her Crave is not that Her Crave is replacing great fuel. We want you to be fueling properly. We want you to be eating all the good foods. But there are times that it is unhealthy to be eating. It is unhealthy to be in your pantry binge eating on potato chips and Reese's peanut butter cups. I love both of those foods, but I know that when I'm like fisting them in and I'm really like trying to band-aid an emotion, it's a time that I really should actually like not be just stuffing my face. So Her Crave is a product. It's actually really, really cool. It has no flavor. And so you can mix it into yogurt, smoothies. I mix it into my eggs, avocado toast, and it helps you to feel satisfied longer between meals. It helps eliminate cravings, and it really just helps you stay on track maybe for some goals that you're currently trying to achieve. And yeah, we're big on empowered eating. And so Her Crave is a tool to help you slow down, identify, am I emotional? Am I really hungry? If I'm hungry, what are great foods I can fuel myself with and help with that healthy relationship with food?
Wow. Holy moly. You guys really thought of everything, honestly. And just my language, I need to get all the products.
Yeah, we'll send them to you. You give me your address. We'll get them for you.
I would love that. And holy cow, I am so impressed, because my next question to you is about branding. And I am I went on your site and your social media, and one of the things I was struck by, and I'm a huge branding nerd, is how beautiful and cohesive and clear your branding and your message are. And so I'm shocked that you've only had the product in the works for 3 years and only been selling for 1 year. So now I really want to know, like, how did you, first of all, why is branding so important to you? Because I can tell it is. And how did you create such a solid, cohesive brand and message?
Okay, so something that has been really important to me over at Mixhers and our whole team is that Mixhers needs to be a brand that immediately any woman feels welcome. Any age range, any race, any culture, any different woman needs to immediately enter Mixhers and feel like, oh, they're speaking to me and I belong here. And so that's really like, that's a huge part of our mission, is creating community for women. And the branding had to go along with that. So all of our like phrases that we try to use, all of our captioning, all of like our brand voice, we're trying, I hope that people feel this, we're trying to always feel inclusive and feel like a warm, relatable friend that you're chatting with. Because what do you love to do? Like when you're facing an issue, isn't the best thing ever when you just open up to a friend and she's like, I totally feel you, girl. Like maybe I'm not feeling the exact same thing right now, but like, I got you. That does suck, And that's something from Mixhers that we're really trying to do for women, is to be that brand that provides women that comfort. They get me. They are women over there that understand that anxiety is hard and that my period is hard, but they're helping me. Mixhers has got me. They've got my back. So for us, as far as branding, first of all, it's so fun. Choosing colors, choosing product names, choosing all those things is so much fun, but so important. So like really, it's silly, but like the amount of like time and thought and energy that I put into like entering a new color is kind of silly. Like I probably waste too much time on it, but I'm like, this color needs to mean something. So like certain colors we use, like they actually have like meanings behind the colors. Like we call it Her Time Pink. That color, it exudes like a caring, genuine, kind, like there's words that describe this color. And so like when you're using Her Time, you should be feeling like those things. Like I feel cared for. I feel that this is like it sounds silly, but like this product is doing something kind for myself. Like I'm taking care of myself by using this. And so all of that, the brand voice, the purpose behind Mixhers, the colors, the names of products, it needs to feel like every woman is welcome to use these products. And like, we're happy that you're here with us.
Well, you guys nailed it. I just love spending time on your site and your social media. You really do get those feelings. And even last night I tagged you guys. I had a really rough day and I was hot and sweaty and annoyed. And I was like, okay, I'm going to sit down, give myself a timeout. I had my first peach and I felt so great afterwards. And I was like, this is like a little treat for myself.
No, and that's totally the thing, is like over at Mixhers, like it's like something I'm always trying to make very easy for people to see. It is hard to be behind a brand and not really know, like, are there people over there? Like who is really behind this brand? And it's like, it's tough for a brand to like A, be tied to a person, and B, like provide the product, because I understand like the interaction between customers with a brand isn't always like, hey, you're my best friend. It's like, hey, provide me like a fast, effective product. Right. So we're really trying to do like both things. And I really do want all of our Mixhers products that we ever launch to almost just feel like, hey, this is Mixhers. Here's your stuff. We've got your back,
Well, you guys did such a good job. I love that. And first of all, now you are totally inspiring me, but I want to know, who inspires you? Who are some business women or even people in your life that you just look up to and really aspire to be like?
Okay, so this is actually really easy for me. there is a woman, I'm sure that you have heard of her. Her name is Susan Peterson. She started the brand Freshly Picked. She has been a great mentor for me through the last couple years. I find that she is a woman that is okay to talk about like where she started and not like knowing all the answers and not knowing for sure what was next, but not having that stop her. Like she knew what she wanted to do, what she wanted to achieve, and she knew that she was going to overcome any obstacles that got in her way. And I find that, and in like a kind way, it's not like everyone step aside, I'm doing my thing. It's like, hey, let's get in this. Like women need these great products. What can I do to improve? What do I need to learn? And that's something that's been so inspiring to me. And now she has like this insane like empire that I love. And she's been a great person for me just to like help me like laser in on my mission. What are my goals? How am I going to get there? How to overcome some fears? Because I mean, the truth behind it is every few days I am wondering, what am I doing? How did I get myself into this? Who's going to give me the answers? You know, like who's in this with me type thing. And it's just conquering a fear like every few days. And then realizing like when those same feelings come up a few days, you know, hopefully the good thing is it's like starting to go like a few days longer between those times, but really being able to like step aside and realize now, like, no, like I am in this, I'm doing this. Like I've overcome some hard things and we're plugging along. We're doing our best. We're working hard. And I feel like that is definitely something that Susan Peterson has taught me.
I love that. It's like, no one has all the answers. We all need to just be honest about that. Like,
yeah. No, and that's
who we are.
That's so right. Like I loved it because I actually took, if anyone's listening to this or reading this that is looking to start their own business, I actually did take Susan Peterson's like small business mentoring program, and it was so helpful for me. And I loved it because in one of the very first sessions, she actually said like, no one really knows what they're doing. Like, don't walk into a situation feeling like so overly intimidated because everyone else has the answers except for you. Like, no one truly knows every single thing. So have confidence, show up with some answers and pull from other people the other answers and like put brains together, things like that. So that was really helpful for me because there are a lot of answers that I don't have. But now I'm able to tell myself, like, I don't have the answer, but you better believe I'm going to come up with it. So
yes, I love that. Oh, that makes me so happy. And I'm so glad you even mentioned her as a mentor because I truly believe that having a mentor when you're starting a business or even years into your business, I mean, I'm 10 years into my business and I have an amazing mentor. It's so important. And I think a lot of business owners don't know that that's almost like the secret sauce is having someone like that can kind of guide you. So awesome. Well, I want to know if you could go back, and I didn't know that your company was so young, but if you could go back and tell yourself when you first started out, give yourself a little advice, what would you tell yourself?
I would tell myself to trust my gut earlier. I did have a few situations in the beginning of our process that I was dealing with some manufacturers and some people formulating our products that were dishonest, and my gut was telling me that. And I just kept thinking, I don't know what I'm doing. How am I supposed to know that this feels like that my gut is right? Because like, I don't know what they're really doing. They know how to formulate. They know what's going into this. I mean, I knew it was supposed to be going into it, but my gut had been telling me all along, like, this doesn't feel right. And I just kept thinking, no, you don't know what you're talking about. And I wish I could go back because I did cut ties. I eventually like did get out of those situations, but it took too much time for me to like have the courage to be like, I know that what you're doing is not right. And it's not what I asked for. And it's not what I'm paying for. And I just wish I could go back and tell myself, like, speak up. You're worth listening to. Your gut is right. You know the direction you're taking this, instead of like trying to tiptoe around some people that really didn't deserve our time.
That's so good. I'm a recovering people pleaser, so I totally get
all
feelings.
Yeah, I'm big on like, but I'm gonna hurt their feelings if I say that like this isn't right, or like when really they weren't thinking about me. Like they weren't thinking about like providing me the best product possible. They were trying to cut corners and, you know, cheapen my product. And that was not what we were in this for. So getting under the right roof and my gut telling me like, yep, they're really listening to the ingredients is what's really made her time, because this is our first product that I was dealing with, but that's what has made her time a product that I am able to 100% stand behind.
That's awesome. That makes me happy. Okay, so you have 3 kids. You have a husband who obviously you've lived overseas. You're busy, busy, busy. Tell me how you balance this with the kids and your business and your marriage and all the things.
I don't.
I love it. I was hoping you would say that.
I really don't. This is the thing that I just so you know, this is something that I am still like very much so trying to figure out how to transition from being like full-time mom mode and being the one picking up my kids from everything, being the one taking them to the pool every day in the summer, being the one that was doing the play dates and that sort of stuff, to then now having to realize there's times I can't be the one doing that. There's times I do have to just tell my kids, I'm so sorry. I know that's important to you, but I can't be there. And I am really careful and really picky about when I'm not showing up for my kids. It's always a priority. And that's something I appreciate with everyone I work with, is like, that's been something like from the beginning that I'm like, there will be times that a lot of times that my family takes priority. And then unfortunately, there are some times when you're chasing dreams and chasing goals that you do have to choose between hard and harder. And something this summer is like, this is my first summer being a full-time working mom. And so this was a tough transition for me to rely on my husband stepped in big time and was like, I'm here, I've got it. He doesn't have to work in the summers, which is so helpful. But the mom guilt, I'll tell you what, like
Real.
It is a struggle. Yes. And anytime I would like express these feelings to my husband of like, I'm not there for the kids, he would always like console me. Like, I've got this. Like the kids are not like, they're not sad. Like, don't take that rudely. Like, of course they love you, but like, we're thriving, we're doing good. But mom guilt, it's a thing. And I'm really trying to figure out how to balance working full-time, still being there consistently for my kids, because I know that, you know, they grow up too fast. I know this is such a weird time for people, but we've been in a situation where our kids they just started school yesterday. So they're going full-time to school, which is, I've already felt the relief yesterday and today, knowing that like my kids are in a happy place. They're learning, they're doing what's best for them. They need to be doing this. And I'm taking advantage of these hours that they're in school to really crank out work. And then I am able to communicate to people like, I shut off when school ends. Send me messages. You'll get my replies tomorrow. And I'm just trying to find that balance.
That's perfect. Well, I'm glad you said there is no balance, because I truly believe there's not. And I always try to be transparent too. It's like, people are always like, how do you get all that done? I'm like, I just do it when I can. It's pockets of time. It's messy. It's not nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's messy. That is for sure. And you know, I think the thing that has been like a true comfort to me is like, I've started having my kids make comments like, Mom, like Mixhers is so cool. Can I have a Mixhers water bottle to take to school? Or like, Mom, can I drink some Her Power? Like, I don't know. And I know that sounds silly, but like, they're aware of what I'm doing. They're aware that like, I am working on something, and that like, I'm not just like not with them because I'm not choosing to be. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, that makes total sense. And I think you hit the nail on the head. Kids are a lot more resilient than mom guilt leads us to believe.
Yeah. And I think too, like, it's something I am having to learn. Like, I really am having to be better at, like, when I tell people I'm shutting off, like actually shutting off. Like when I say you'll get my responses tomorrow, like really not checking and then responding then, because like I am trying to find like no, like I am shutting off, be present with my kids right now. And like those things, I know that there's so many times that I have felt like if I don't get to this right now, like Mixhers is not going to survive. Like I have to hurry and do this or else like my business is going under. Not the case. Not the case. Like if that were really the case, someone wouldn't just be texting me. They would just calling me and being like, right now, do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So sometimes like I'm trying to learn. Like when I say I'm shutting off, really like shutting off work mode to mom mode, or really shutting off mom mode to work mode. When I tell my family, like my office is up in my house. Like when I tell my family, like I'm going up and I'm working, like shutting off and not letting the mom guilt like ruin my work mode.
Yep. Yes, absolutely. Well, so now that the kids are back in school, which hasn't been that long, but tell me like what a typical day is for you. What are you doing during the day in your company, in your family? How does that kind of work?
Yeah. So Mixhers is in a huge transition period, which has really like been fun, really exciting. We've brought on a lot of new team members. So my day to day is transitioning. I'm able to change from like the tedious daily tasks. Like, I mean, what people may not know is like really when they're getting like DM responses on Mixhers, like it's been Jess, the CEO behind Mixhers. And like, that's not always the case in brands. But like, I've been the one like with a couple people helping me to grow the brand. Like I've been the one doing like the daily tasks that you wouldn't necessarily like expect me to still be doing, but I have been because I've had to be, and I've been happy to do it. So really, in the last week, we've been able to, I would say, it doesn't really matter, but 3 weeks realistically, we've been able to start this transition to where my new focus is really getting out there, spreading brand awareness, setting up great like collaborations with other brands, partnering myself with other women in business, and how can we help each other grow, and having a lot of energy in those areas that are really growing my brand now that I don't have to be like, well, I have to respond to DMs because these are actual customers, which is so important to me as well. They are important. It is important to me to have DMs responded to because these are people that matter to me. But I need to be out there helping more women know about Mixhers so that their lives can be benefited by our products. So now I'm kind of transitioning into that. So my day is I wake up, get the kids off to school. I'm really big on starting my day off right with a great workout. It sets my mind in the right place, gives me a much better mood, and it makes me feel energized for like what I have in the day ahead. It's full with team meetings. We usually start meetings around 10, and we take few hours to just gather where are we on social media content, what is looking up for the next 2 weeks, what is our goal behind sales, who are we trying to collaborate with, how are we going to grow our email database, all these like strategic things that we're really trying to improve on. We have a lot of growing to still do. And then I'll take afternoon calls, usually with partners or manufacturers, making sure that everything's in line. And then honestly, the day flies. It's time to pick up my kids from school. You know how it is, mom life. I'll be like taking a call while I'm like pushing a shopping cart. Like, throwing it. Yeah, I'm always like, sorry, you hear the beeping of the scanner, like as I'm checking out at a grocery store, like, yeah, that sounds great. Let's go ahead and move forward with that. And it's like, beep, beep. Anyway, yeah, then I am trying to work on transitioning to mom mode, picking up the kids from school. I'm present. I'm the one taking them with my husband, split, divide and conquer the rest of the day, soccer, gymnastics, cook dinner, all that stuff that I want to be around for as well.
Well, you just sound like Superwoman, and I love that you.
Oh, then I'm fooling you.
I mean in the real way. I mean like a
okay, good.
honest to goodness, Superwoman who is trying to do it all and maybe sometimes doesn't get it right, but is doing her best. And that's my kind of Superwoman.
Yeah. You know what? I just think the big thing is that sometimes when I'm getting hard on myself and like thinking like, man, I'm like dropping the ball everywhere. Like I have to really slow down. And like, I think it's something that women, we struggle with is like, we pull ourselves down, and like my thought process is like, I would never think any of these thoughts about another woman. Like I would never tell someone like, yeah, you really didn't finish that to-do list today. Wow. You know, and I'm like, I'm trying to be better at like just stopping. And like when I'm feeling like, gosh, like I'm drowning, really stopping and like analyzing me and like, I am getting a lot of stuff done. Like give yourself some credit. You know, not everything is like life or death on your to-do list all the time. Nothing ever really is. And just really kind of women, I think a huge thing is like, we need to slow down and really, love ourselves the way that we love to love on, you know, other women feeling good about themselves.
Yes. Amen. Holy moly. Okay. My last question for you is kind of unrelated, but I want to know your top 3 must-have beauty products. You got to have them.
Oh, okay. So I have, in fact, I'll have to like see if I can get a link to you because it's not a super common brand in America, but there is a skin, like it's not a foundation. What's the other word? Help me. Like a tinted moisturizer from a brand called Matisse, and it's in Europe, but I can get it on Amazon. So I'll send you a link. It is the most like natural looking tinted moisturizer, never makes me break out. I feel like, hopefully I don't, I feel like it doesn't make you look cakey, and I just love it for like a smooth tinted moisturizer for a natural look. Another thing that I love is, I never know how to pronounce it. It's either CeraVe. It's like Target brand. Okay. So I'm going to spell out CERAVE. And this gentle hydrating cleanser has changed my skin. Together with Her Time, those are the 2 things I used to waste so much money on, like expensive facial cleansers, creams, all the like treatment things in my skin was like so bad. So I just use Her Time daily, and I use CeraVe hydrating like gentle cleanser, and it's changed my skin. And then the last thing is, have you ever tried Babe Lash's brow mascara?
No.
Brow mascara or brow filler. I don't know. Anyway, volumizing brow filler, maybe.
Okay.
Unreal. I use the color taupe. It's like a really simple little wand. You just like brush across your eyebrows, helps them look like colored in and like not have like the wispy eyebrows, just kind of like keep them in place. Those are my 3.
So good. Okay, I'm gonna find all the links and we'll link everybody because I feel like
and if you want a link for the Babe Lash stuff or a discount code for the Babe Lash stuff, let me know. I'm gonna give you.
Okay, yes, we will, because I know any product that like a busy working mom is using has got to be good. Like we don't mess around.
Yeah, and like I am huge on like there are some things that should splurge on, like that tinted moisturizer. I splurge on it because it doesn't make me break out. I can feel that it's worth it. But yeah, then like down to my cleanser, like Target. I grab it at Target. It's like under $10 and it lasts like 6 months. So
I love that. Well, oh my gosh, thank you so much. This was so fun, and you are just so awesome. I loved hearing about how you grew your business, and I'm excited to see how you continue to grow it, because it's just, seriously, you guys have to check out her products. I'm going to link to everything. We need to follow you on Instagram at Mixhers, and it's Mixhers, everybody. Make sure you get that spelling right. Thank you, Jess, so much for being on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you asked me to be here. I appreciate your time. I know that you're a busy woman, so thank you for taking time to interview me.
All right, thank you. And everybody go follow her and check out her products.
Bye, everyone.